Welcome to Draw It with Mrs. Steele. I'm Mrs. Steele from Camping Stick Kids. You can find all our resources at www.campingstickkids.org.
Hey everyone, this is Mrs. Steele, and today we are going to be drawing fish and frogs, and I thought it would be fun to draw some fishing lures. Have you ever been fishing? I grew up in Canada at a lake, and fishing was a big deal. And I often used this kind of a lure to catch fish. Maybe you've been fishing and you've used this kind of a lure. We're going to try to draw them both today. But first, let's draw some fish. We're going to start with fish. Fish are my favorite things to draw because they're actually the easiest thing you could possibly draw outside of a circle. And today we're going to start right here in this first rectangle, and we're going to draw a school of fish. So you don't want to make them too big because you want to be able to fit at least 5 fish in this rectangle. So we're going to start down here at the bottom. And when you think about your fish, we're going to make them swim sort of like they're doing a little bit of a curve up to the top. You don't have to draw the curve. If you need to, that's fine. But that's how I just want you to be thinking of them coming up around to the top. So we'll draw our first fish down here. So you're going to start with what I call, it looks like a teardrop. Now, it's sort of an upside down teardrop because when tears fall, usually the point falls from your eye and there's your teardrop. So draw it like that. It's skinny on one end and it's nice and round on the other end. Go ahead and do that. And then on the skinny end of your teardrop, we're going to draw a triangle. Straight line this way, straight line that way, and then close it off. Now, to really make our fish look fun, we're going to make great big eyes. Now, the first eye is going to almost fill up that whole section there. So make a circle with a dot in it. And now the next eye, we're going to make it bulge out of the side here. So we're not going to do a whole circle. Start at his head here and go out and around. And then make sure you draw the little dot for his eyeball. And he needs a little happy mouth. There's our first fish. I'll give you a minute if you need to stop the video and draw him. But I'm going to show you again the next fish. Let's do one behind him. Again, we're going to draw a teardrop, but it's going to be on its side this time. Then a triangle. 1, 2, 3. Now this fish is sort of swimming down, so we're going to make his eye, first eye, sort of down here near the bottom of that largest part of him. And then we'll make the other one fit right in there together. See how it makes a difference? It looks like he's swimming down in this direction, whereas this guy's starting to swim up. All right, let's draw another one. Here we go. This guy's going to be swimming up to the top. Pretend this is your water line up here, okay? So we draw our teardrop, skinny at the bottom, nice and chubby at the top. Triangle, one this way, one that way. Close it off. Now, this guy is going to look a little bit like this guy, except, of course, he's looking up. So we're going to do a circle and a circle, side-by-side circles. Get his little eyeballs in there. And we'll just kind of give him a straight face. I'm not going to give him a smiley face. All right, we're coming around here. I said we'd do 5. So here's our 4th one. Boop. Triangle. Eyeballs, eyeballs, and then let's do the last one up here at the top. Teardrop, triangle. I'm going to make him look like that first one we did, where his eyes kind of bulging out the side of his head like that. Now to really finish off our school of fish, they need bubbles. So starting just close to him, not right nearby him, draw some bubbles coming up out of their mouths. Boop, boop, boop. Bubbles, 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 bubbles. You can draw some extra bubbles. That's your school of fish. Now we are only going to write the word fish down here, and we're going to use lowercase letters. So lowercase f starts between the midline and the top line. I always say top line, midline, baseline. So if you need to have an adult put a little dot there between the midline and the top line, you can. And then you're going to curve up and bump your head, boink, on that top line, curve around and come down to the baseline and cross him off. Ooh, I actually went up and over the top line a little bit. That's okay because we're just learning. I try to encourage you not to do too much erasing when you're first learning. Do your best the first time. I, S, H, fish. Now, the next time I'm going to do better. I'm going to make sure I don't go above that top line. Oh yeah, that's a better one. See, instead of wasting my time erasing, I just make sure the next one's a little bit better. Fish. Okay, now we're going to draw our fishing lures. Be careful because they have hooks on them, and the hooks have little barbs in them. If you can see those, that's what sets in the fish's mouth. So if you have real ones, be sure an adult's with you if you're handling them. We're going to start with our biggest lure, and I'm going to look at it carefully, and I see that it's narrow here and it's wider at the top. So I'm going to make room for both lures, so I want to draw this lure over here. And I'm going to start narrow at the bottom, maybe do a smiley face here at the bottom. That gives you an idea that now we need to get wider at the top. So go here to the top part of your smiley face. And as you curve up, get a little bit wider and fall back down over here. If you didn't match up, just try again. And then we're going to draw the hole. This is where the fishing line would hook onto this lure. And then another hole up here where the hook comes into the lure. Now we're going to draw this design that I see. And I see that it's on the outside of the hole. So I'm going to draw a curvy, wavy, something or other here. And try to match it up here. And then later you can color that any color you want. Now we need to put in the hook. And you can see the hook. There's actually another little circle there. So I'm going to go to the middle of this hole in this circle, come up and then stop at the top of the lure. That gives the illusion that it goes around the backside where you can't see it. And here's our hook. I'm just going to do a little floop down and straight up. And stop. Now I'm going to draw this hook on this side and give it a little barb that goes in like that. And then come back up to the top and go this direction. And give it a little barb. Now to make this part of the hook look like it's overlapping these others, I'll show you the trick. You actually start at the top, hook around and go right over top of that other one. And then give your barb. Look at that. It looks like it belongs there. There's our first lure. Now we'll do our fly fishing lure. I love this one. It's so cute. If you need to stop the video because I went too fast, stop it now and go back. Finish this lure. All right. This one, we have this shiny gold part. This kind of flutters in the water and makes the fish think that it's a little insect or maybe a smaller fish that they can eat. And it also has a hole right here at the top. And then we have the next part that looks like a little bug, doesn't it? You draw a straight line up, and then we're just going to draw a rectangle. So draw a straight line across so that that line looks like a T, and then do a rectangle. And if you want to add some little designs, you can. Don't take too long to do that though, because now we need to draw what's called the fly. It looks like feathers, doesn't it? But we're going to draw the hook first. So go straight up and hook. And we're just going to draw one hook for simplicity right now. And then our little fuzzy part here, we're going to go out and out, do curved lines, and do a whole bunch of them. Curving out. And there's our second lure. Lure. L-U-R-E. Lure. L-U. Oops, I am going to use my eraser on that one. I was going too fast. R-E. When you put a hook onto a lure, the whole thing is called a lure. Are you ready to draw the frog? I sure am. We have our fish, our lure, and lures if it was more than one. We could add an S to that if you wanted. And now we're going to do our frog. When you draw a frog, you could just do his face if you are still struggling and learning how to draw, but stick around if you want to learn how to draw his body. All right, so to draw a frog face, we want to draw two eyes. Now, we don't want them so big they fill up our rectangle, and we don't want them itty bitty, and we certainly don't want them close together. Frog's eyes are spread apart, so think about 2 fingers down like that. In fact, if you put 2 fingers down and put a dot and a dot, that's about how far apart your eyes should be. So from that dot, I'm going to draw a circle and a circle over here. And there's his first part of his eyes. Let's give him eyelids, like a curved line. And then give him his eyeballs. Mr. Froggy, here he comes. Then frogs have curved heads, so we're going to draw a curve from one eyeball to the other. And then we're going to draw his face from one eye to the next, like a big smiley face. Watch. Smile, everyone. Let's give him a real smile on his face. I'm going to make mine a little curvy. And I'm even going to add over here, his mouth will be open just a bit, and I'll show you why in a minute. Then sometimes frogs have little warts or spots on them, so you could draw that. Now, his mouth is open because I'm going to make his tongue come up and snatch a fly up here. So here's our little fly. Draw a little black spot and 2 wings. Ooh, it is breakfast time. Starting here in the open part of his mouth, go all the way up and touch the fly and curl around it. There's our frog with his face catching a fly. Frog. F-R-O-G. Frog. F-R. Curve that around a little more. O-G. If you want to draw his body, here's how you do it. You're going to draw an oval starting just under his chin. Come down and up. And then draw another one in the middle, because sometimes the underbelly of a frog is lighter or white. And then we're going to do his legs. Get an adult to help you. Put a dot here and a dot here and a dot up here where his knee is going to end. That will give you a place to know where to go. So we're going to swoop up and down. Do that now. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. A dot here and a dot here. Where's his knee going to go? Swoop up and down. And now we need his webbed feet. So we're going to draw 3 lines. Watch. 1, 2, 3. And then to web them, you do a little curve in between the toes. And then let's put a little sticky pad on the end of his toes. We'll make him one of those sticky frogs that can climb walls. And on this side, same thing. 1, 2, 3. Web them. Put a little curve in between. And his little sticky pads. He needs his front legs. Start up at this dot that's right up by his first part of his leg. And we're going to draw sort of like a triangle that comes down like here. See, watch. Triangle. And then if you want to, you could erase what's inside because that arm is coming out over top. Three fingers again. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to connect them here and web them. And put some sticky dots. Oh, that's a big hand coming forward, isn't it? Maybe the next one won't be so big. Triangle. Erase what's inside if you'd like to. 3 lines. 1, I'm going to make them go underneath. 2, and 1 come over here. Give him his dots. Connect it. Web them. When you color him, he'll look so cute. Fish, lure, frog. Thanks for joining me today on Draw It with Mrs. Steele.
Thanks for joining me today on Draw It with Mrs. Steele from Camping Stick Kids. If you want to find our resources, remember, you can go to www.campingstickkids.org. And don't forget to subscribe to our channels. Our next drawing video will come out very soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.